استراحة الآن.
Hello everyone, how you going? Oh, my face is stuck. Never mind, you don't need to see my face anyway. It's not the face you want to see, it's the match. And to have a match, we need to do one thing, and that is roll the dice. So, just give me 1 second to prepare my virtual dice so that we can watch Honkai Destruction Armor take on the 367th MTsO. I'm excited for this one. I hope you are too. Okay, let's get those dice up, and it's on the Caucasus, so 3, 2, 1, go. And it is map number 6. Honkai Destruction Armor has picked Tails, which is the number 2 on a 2-sided dice, so 3, 2, 1. And HDA wins the coin flip. So let's change the map so that we can get this match on the way. Today is going to be absolutely full of competition. And this is the first off the block, so make sure you keep your eyes open, make sure you're well hydrated, make sure that you're got a coffee or a Red Bull, and let's get ourselves ready for midday with 3-layer clouds, Tbilisi versus Sukumi. Awesome. How are you guys all going today? Hello, Spade. Hello, Quericho. How are you going? Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Shaft Flame, good to see you. Alpha Gator, Spaceman. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, information has been passed on. Now there's one more thing I need to get connected, which is TACview, so let's get that launched. I'm excited for this one. Both of these teams are very good and really, really exciting to watch them play. HDA, some of my favorites as well, and they have brought along some spectacular liveries as well, so you guys will not be left disappointed in the variety department in that regard, make no mistake. I am looking for a document that I have put down somewhere and I've just completely lost it. There it is. Perfect. And grab this. Perfect. Perfect. Everything as anticipated. So, let's switch over to the screen that's going to show us the best of the best that DCS has to offer. As it looks like Honkai Destruction Armor have selected to start on the blue side. Spawned in already, we have Rainbow 7, Month Day, Lunar Eclipse, and Checo. Remember what I said about those liveries? Welcome in, Hex. Good to see you. Of course, the last time we watched HDA take off, we got a little bit of an education in what the Honkai Impact universe was like. And I think this one is Saber, for any Fate Grand Order fans. Though, sadly, no F-86s in the SATAC this year. Maybe next year. Thank you for the biddies, Hex. And Makasu as well. With this character, who I always forget who it's from, but this is the Honkai logo, so it'll be something from that. Hello, Aaron. How are you going? Shorty Guns as well. Meanwhile, over in the red corner, we have, for the 367th Bonsai, Katia Gott, Shadow Rex, D-Man, and Diok. And it looks like it's going to be J11 Heavy for the members of the 367th. HDA is an international team with players from all over the world, but several from Asia, including China and Japan. And the 367th MTsO is a combination team of Russians, South American residents, and the... Sorry, I phrased that weirdly. From Russia, South America, and Spain, the 367th MTsO. So, a very international matchup. We have people from all over the world turning up to butt heads today. Good to see you, Tech. I hope you're having a good day as well. So, looks like it's 2 F-16s and 3 J-11s for the Reds. The other members of HDA have joined, including MTsO and Red Fox, bringing along a JF-17 Thunder in a beautiful personalized livery. I love that. That's gorgeous. I really like that palette. I wonder if, who is this? Ah. Very cute. Excellent. Well, Red Fox, you're in the running for the best livery of the day, but I think your teammates might give you a little bit of hassle. Hello, Lowmark. Welcome in, a supporter of the 367th. What does MTsO mean? It will be like PVO. It'll be a Russian word, but does anyone know what the words PVO and MTsO are? Let's put up a poll to see who's here to support who. Who? Nice. Perfect. Everything's looking good. Okay, so Lunar Eclipse is on the line. Actually, I think I may need to quickly restart my DCS. Just give me a few seconds here. We're still waiting on the taxi as well, so just give me a hot minute here, because I want to make sure that the MTsO skins are working as expected. So I want to fix that right away. My liveries folder is now a healthy 500 gigabytes. Okie dokie. Perfect. Alright, I just need to restart my DCS. Give me 1 sec. So, PVO is Protivo Vozdushnaya Obrona, anti-air defense. It's the same acronym in Serbian. So, MTsO is the same as PVO, but it's in Serbian. If I am to understand that correctly. Luca the Slav. You know, one of the special things about streaming content online is that you get access to such a wide variety of people and experiences. So you can ask questions like, what does PVO and MTsO mean? And someone named Luca the Slav, who would probably know better than anyone, appears out of the woodwork to give an accurate and concise and informative answer. Name one other environment where you can get that kind of interaction. Oh, speaking of making sure you stay hydrated, I've got one of my big flasks that's full of water and ice cubes, because today's going to involve a lot of yapping. Don't worry, you won't have to look at me for long. We are nearly there. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And that one... It's particularly important for some teams like the MTsO to have their skins on, because they really do want to emphasize that their J11s are instead their own aircraft. And look at these spectacular liveries. Thank goodness we actually got those working properly. The 367th MTsO Esports. Excellent, excellent. Spectacular, absolutely spectacular. So we have Shadow Rex, Tatia Got, Bonsai, Deok, and D-Man. Ah. And here's Shadow Rex. These remind me of Formula 1 cars. Full of sponsorship stickers and shout-outs and everything. And of course, there's the 367 MTsO Discord link. It looks like 367 are... 367 may need to have a sixth stand-in and be a mercenary for them. Looks like Spade is on standby to fulfill that role if requested, which is a pretty good deal if you ask me, as Spade can certainly hold their own. Whoa! Oopsies, what happened there? Let's check. That probably was just a second of desync. Yeah. Just a tiny bit of desync there. I think Deok might have started. Never mind. Oopsies. Fortunately, no wheels off the ground, no harm, no foul. It's SATAC, gentlemen. Anything can happen. Ground emergency. Ah, well. Sometimes things like that just happen. Okay, I'm just going to restart the server so that we can clear up that wreck. Because that was no one's fault, and they deserve to have a taxiway clear of obstructions. Spot on. Man, you guys are going to have to stare at me for even longer. This is a squad v squad dogfight competition for charity. SATAC is a squad v squad event. Not for charity, just for competition. The sponsors kindly have provided prizes for the participants. And There is not necessarily the world's biggest prize pool, but for a niche hobby like flight simulation, it certainly is a gorgeous and massive event for people like us. In fact, probably the biggest flight simulation PvP esport event happening in the world this year. Certainly among the top of all competitive DCS to be happening. Okay, Bonsai, Tetia got Shadow Rex and D-Man are back in and loaded. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to make the HDA members taxi again, but I'm sure they don't mind. We'll give them some special attention for their wonderful paint jobs. The J11 is the Chinese flanker, yes, but functionally in this competition, it's treated as an SU-27 with R-77s and SD-10s for the purposes of leveling the playing field, and it looks like HDA and the 367th have the same amount of supporters here at the moment. Now, seeing as we have this opportunity, and it has been a little bit of setup, I'm going to run ads shortly, just so that during the match itself, there is no chance of ads happening. So, while we just go through this gentle little reset here. Startup, taxi, and takeoff are your favourite parts of flying? Yeah, some people, when they play DCS, they don't like to do their own startup procedures. They just press the auto start button. Is it because of the different fidelity of the models? Not necessarily, no. Is VR permitted in this competition? Yes, it is. What is this competition about? Is it just air-to-air? Yes, it is a squadron air-to-air competition. The rules are, you are on a team of 6, and you can bring any plane you like. You can bring any missile you like, except the AIM-9X, and you are limited to a maximum of 4 Fox 3 missiles. As you'll see, the F-18 will only be carrying 4 missiles when it could potentially be carrying as much as 12. By the same token, you are more than welcome to bring as many heat seekers as you want. The reasoning behind the decision to limit it to 4 Fox 3 missiles is so that planes like the JF-17 stay relevant. Red Fox in the Red Fox, taxiing to the start point. So, 6 are up for HDA. As it looks like, we have 6 for the 367th MTsO, as Bonsai and Tetia got in the F-16s are waiting for their J11s to come and meet them. A gentle reminder that SATAC is a politics-free zone, with all of the participants engaging with this competition from all over the world. If we took time to settle all of our own individual political differences, we'd never get any time to fly planes. So, instead, SATAC is an apolitical organisation, and everyone here is welcome to engage in the sport of flying competitively, in good faith with each other, in a spirit of fun and fairness. An opportunity to leave behind the concerns of the real world and engage in an environment where the only priority is being the last one standing in a 100 nautical mile bubble. Thank you very much for the compliment, Spectre Rick. That's really kind of you to say. I appreciate that. As you can see, the reason that the J11 is used instead of the SU-27, because the SU-27 doesn't have the capacity to mount these Fox 3 missiles. A little bit of lure hacking is done to enable the J11 to carry the SD-10. You can also bring the R-77 should you so want to, but it's not as popular. This was agreed upon by all of the participants as a good opportunity to level the playing field, especially with the SD-10 and AIM-120C being high levels of maturity in their simulation. Are these planes from that plane guy? You know what? That might be the vaguest thing anyone's ever said. Okie doke. MTsO is lined up and ready. The best thing about flying the F-15, actually, is it has really good endurance. And if you look carefully, it's mostly because of the large tanks that give you the opportunity to extend the range. The SU-27s that we have in DCS are, I think, Technitinium will know better than me. I think they're B models. So, I think they're of a variant of, I think, the late 80s? In Azure Lane, we call those torpedo bulges. If anyone sends me a picture and says, hey, do you want to look at my torpedo bulge? I'm blocking them and banning them. Okie doke, I think we're going to get the ready call soon. Want to see an AirShow custom skin? I have some custom skins. I have a custom Mi-24 Hind skin. I have a custom F4 Phantom skin. Also, did you say planes from the plane guy? I'm the plane guy. It's me. I wouldn't dream of it, Spaceman. Just don't be offended if I don't necessarily explode with enthusiasm at your torpedo bulge. I'll show you guys my playing skins on Monday. How about that? I'll do one of my regular streams on Monday, and I'll join a server where we get external views enabled. But yes, as I was about to say, so it is 15:30 Zulu at the moment. In 2.5 hours, I'll be casting another match between PTF and Golden Crown. At the same time, in about 2.5 hours, DDCS and Griffin Squadron will be facing off, and that'll be cast by 81 Banana. HDA reports ready. So they are all loaded up and ready to go. Fate, stay night. There are 40 teams involved in the competition of SATAC. I don't think the Grim Reapers signed up, but I'm sure they could have if they wanted to. There are a lot of international teams and a couple of country-specific teams, like the Storks from Russia, Belarus, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Harpia from Brazil. Persian Air Force is from Iran. ACR and GVAW is from Thailand and Indonesia. And there are a lot of DCS competitions that go on throughout the year. So some teams don't make all of the competitions. $40? Yes, 40 teams. 40. 40. Hopefully everything's okay with the 367. Where can we see the current standings? You can see the current standings. Apologies, guys. We're just running into some technical issues here. Hi, Proto-Droid. How you going? What happened? What happened? Oh, the Grim Reapers, they make a certain style of content that doesn't agree with some people. That's it? Well, that's the thing, Proto-Droid. The flight simulation community does like to take things terribly serious. It's probably a symptom of our desire to emulate reality, that we all take our fighter piloting very seriously. Can you show the HDA skins? It would be my pleasure. Alright, we're having to change servers here at the moment, just so that, everything works. Oh, the song that was just playing. Let me get it for you. It is Vertical Drop by James Shimoji. Alright, let's get on the new server. Very aggressive hold music. No, the first round has not been played yet. We are unfortunately stuck with some technical issues preventing some of the players from 367th from connecting to the server. So we are currently switching to an alternative so that everyone can participate. Comes with the territory. That is the tricky thing about doing a live show. It does mean that you have to deal with problems live. Fortunately, you guys get to have me Alright guys, we're just going to run a Be Right Back and get ready. Okay. Third time's a charm. It is now looking like we are finally getting to have everyone connect successfully to the server and prepare for the round to come. This is a good opportunity to practice with combined arms. Okay. Alright, welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for being patient. Seems fun in getting my head bashed in with a billy club kind of way. Well, you know, some people are into that. War Thunder Sim, but more real? We'll see. Okay. So we should have all 6 here. Tatia Gott, Bonsai, Royce, Shadow Rex, Dioc, and D-Man. I do like this livery. It's like me. It's got eyes and a mouth. That's some pretty gnarly camo, though. I'm just going to have to pass on some information to the organisers, so give me a second while I just type out a message. Some seriously spicy liveries today. Oh, don't you just love it, though? Thank you very much for your patience today, guys. I understand that a live viewing experience can mean live problems. And just like how you might spend all of your money going to the F1 just for the FIA to tell you that the track's too wet. Or you might go out for the golfing tournament but it's raining, or if you might want to watch the cricket but an act of God blows up the pitch. We take the rough with the smooth. And may I say that I appreciate your company here all the same. Bad, boring grey is a standard IRL. It is an interesting die economy, isn't it? Especially the F-35. Though, with that being said, I do really like the way that the F-35 has the roundels on it. You know how, like, each country that's got one has its own, like, Air Force roundel version on it, and it's kind of in a stealth grey. I think that looks really good. You only just got home? Perfect. Well, you have arrived right as the technical problems have become resolved. I do not know who this character is. Ferrari fan too? We are masochists? Look, I don't really follow any specific teams. I just like watching the event. Of course, hosting DCS servers is not easy, and the support that we have received from MasterArm has been absolutely fantastic. However, not all eventualities can be foreseen, and by the same token, the issues that we're encountering on the previous server are almost definitely not related to MasterArm at all. So both teams ready. Both teams ready. Get set. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go, go, go. All right. Let's get this match on the way. Oh my god, I didn't think it would happen. I think, though, I might need to just... So, that is Diok and Shadow Rex off the ground. Red Fox, Month Day, Checo, Nacho, MTsO, and Lunar Eclipse are all spreading down the runway. Excellent. Come on, Lunar Eclipse. Don't get left behind. Your teammates need you. Uh-oh. Hopefully Lunar Eclipse is not having any trouble. I'll come out the back here with a barbecue lighter and see if I can get these afterburners going. Alright, we'll have to hope and wait that Lunar Eclipse makes it off the ground shortly. Meanwhile, D-Man, Deoctatia, Got, Roy's, Shadow Rex, and Bonsai are all off the ground. Bonsai in the F-16, the last one to take off for the 367th. We watching paint dry? That's the trickiest part about casting this, is that sometimes people just don't do anything for a while. And I'm like, I'm going to show you taking off, and then they just stay there for ages. There we go. Lunar Eclipse makes it off the ground. Everyone's in the sky. The match is on. As Month Day leads the way in the northern group at 35,000 feet, with Checo in the southern group at 28,000 feet in the gorgeous SU-27 J11 in a white camouflage, perfectly suited for this midday three-layer clouds match. I'm just enjoying how the light looks on this livery. It looks fantastic. Shadow Rex is leading away in one of the J11s for the 367th. Not afterburning just yet at 24,000 feet. Perhaps it's a tactic. It often is a tactic, actually. The staggered takeoff timings is particularly indicative. It's something I've seen Chinese teams do more than others, to stagger their flights, just so that they have someone who can come in at full fuel once the fight has developed a little bit and commit. What I wouldn't be surprised to see happen is that the J11 that was waiting will probably go up to high altitude, and as the initial shots are defended against by HDA, then they will rely on that later J11 to fly over the top of them and cover their defense. If you had to choose a dual plane, what would it be? In real life or in DCS? Red Fox's livery, I think, is my personal favourite. Though I do really like Shadow Rex's J11 with shark mouth. It's even got eyes. It's just like me. Brother, is that you? IRL? Oh, the F-35. The F-35 could do everything. Not the F-22, because if it's a dual plane, it would need ground attack, and the 22 ain't got a pound for air to ground. Besides, and this is a very controversial opinion, I never really liked the way that the F-22 looked. Month Day leads the way. Enormous gratitude to the patience of our Chinese players. I know that it is UMT +8 for them, so at the moment it is probably around about midnight. As a result, I've made the call to make these fast matches. which means that we will be waiting for only one player to land. And then as soon as one successfully touches down, then we will restart the server. Only 60 nautical miles of distance between Shadow Rex and Month Day, 55 now, and they're about at the same altitude. Shadow Rex not even afterburning just yet. What's wrong with you? You see, I really, really like the way that the F-35 looks, and I do like the way the F-22 looks, but it's not my favorite by any means. I think that the F-22 looks like it's too squished, and I know that lots of people think that the F-35 is so barrely that it kind of looks fat, and they call it fat Amy and all that sort of thing, but I like the fact that it's a bit chubbier. I think the F-22 looks like it's been stepped on. As Month Day launches the first AIM-120 of the match, 40 nautical miles, heading towards Shadow Rex, who fires an SD-10 in response, but Shadow Rex only travelling at 530 knots, while Month Day is travelling nearly at 800 now. So hopefully that speed difference doesn't spell disaster for Shadow Rex. The only plane that I have heard at an airshow that is nearly as loud as the F-35 is the sound of a Harrier hovering. A Harrier in a pure hover is so loud. Nacho fires an AIM-120 at a very ambitious 52 nautical miles towards Tatia. Some really long-range shots here. MTsO looking like they're committing towards Roy's. One other issue that we'll have as a result of the server situation, I will not have access to the live TAC view replays. I will have to get them at the end of the match, so apologies if during the flights back you do not have any TAC view analysis. Roy's and MTsO trading missiles. MTsO is at 36,000 feet, but feels confident in being able to defeat this missile, and rightly so. That AIM-120 is only traveling at 700 knots and dropping. All of the AIM-120s and SD-10s fired by the Reds so far, relatively harmless in terms of their probability of kill. One thing that seemed obvious afterwards, but I hadn't thought about with the F-35 and the Harrier, was how much air you would actually feel coming off of them when they're hovering like that. Like, it's a couple of 100 feet away or so, but even from that distance, you still can feel, like, the wind of all of that thrust keeping that plane up in the air. It's insane. As Lunar Eclipse fires an R-27, I wonder if this is an R model. It is, so this is an active radar homing missile. It'll need a radar lock the whole way. It's got 25 nautical miles to cover, so it has speed, but no guidance. This missile looks like it is for the birds. As Month Day pushes towards Tatia as well. Deok and D-Man, happy in the south, have only entered the circle recently. So they'll be doing relatively plush on fuel, one would imagine. I would love to see an Su-27 fly in real life one day. I hope I get the chance. MTsO now pushing in with the ultra slick air-to-air loadout, traveling at a enormous rate of speed, lining up for a bit of shooting, one would imagine. Getting up to 41,000 feet. And sitting very pretty. with only 12 nautical miles to cover to Tatyagot. Gets off that missile and starts heading straight down, as this missile does not have far to cover to get to Tatyagot. It's pretty much gone ballistic, and all Tatyagot has to escape from this is the terrain, but often the terrain is enough. Tatyagot doesn't get lucky and ends up in parts and pieces on the ground. Tatyagot getting splashed by the ultra-high F-15, the first loss, as it becomes a 5v6 in favor of HDA. MTsO still uncontested at the 30,000 foot mark, and with 2 AMRAAMs left to go. He's right above Shadow Rex, only 8 nautical miles away. But who's going to find who? Will Shadow Rex try and find him up there? He certainly has. The missile comes off the wings. Now, what is it, is the important question here. It's an R-27T, so it's a heat seeker. Will it have the legs to get up to MTsO? And if it does, will MTsO know that it's coming? As he fires a missile down towards Royce, who's at 7,000 feet. Looks like the R-27 doesn't actually have the legs to make it all the way up. Runs out of speed. Now Royce is going to have to contend with this. Another AIM-120 coming down like it's returning from orbit. And kablooey! It finds its mark, and Royce go down. MTsO manages to score their second kill of the match, uncontested at high altitude. Month Day now at 4,000 feet, committing to the attack into the northern group. Gaining altitude, but still below 10,000 feet. D-Man with the altitude advantage here is making shots towards a central group of HDA. As it looks like a third pilot has gone down in the south for the 367th. But HDA takes their first loss as one of the F-16s goes down at high altitude, taken down by Deok. An AIM-120 from Month Day fired at 10,000 feet, heading towards D-Man now. A 5v3. The R-27 chasing Deok here is infrared, but doesn't have the speed. It's going to get very close. Deok just needs to look in his mirrors and realize, oh my god, there's an R-27 right there. Oh, but the second missile catches up with him, and Deok goes down. The R-27 didn't get him, but the SD-10 following it certainly did. D-Man, angered at the loss of his friends and colleagues, provides me with what may be my worst camera shot yet, as they proceed up into high altitude to engage in the fight. Red Fox now rifling off some SD-10s of their own. Who left on the JF-17? Shadow Rex turns cold after firing an SD-10 towards the central group, including Month Day. Missile towards the central group of HDA. Not necessarily finding its target just yet, but a very fast missile heading towards D-Man near an AIM-120. D-Man's going to struggle to get away from this one. Somehow actually manages to do it, though. The missile goes strange in the clouds, and D-Man makes a successful escape from one of MTsO's notoriously deadly missiles. And somehow didn't even have to drop that much altitude to do it. Goodness gravy. Meanwhile, Shadow Rex, limited to R-73s and an R-27, pushes in. It's a R-27 ET, though, so as long as Month Day pumps out some countermeasures, should be able to get away from it. The R-27 isn't tracking, but Shadow Rex has to escape from this 120. Getting close. Oh, Shadow Rex, did you pull too hard? Come on. Shadow Rex gets away with it. Pulling into the epically low altitude. However, D-Man in the south has been splashed by the SD-10, meaning that Shadow Rex is the last one standing. With only R-73s left and 4 players left to kill, it's going to be a hard uphill battle for Shadow Rex. As he comes into view of MTsO straight off the nose, and MTsO fires a AIM-9 towards the Su-27. It doesn't have the legs to find Shadow Rex, though, who successfully evades it, but this AIM-120 is now the new problem for this Su-20 without a team. Down, down, down goes the last member of the 367th. Unfortunately does not find its target, but a good opportunity for us to look at the thrust vectoring mechanism, which I find very interesting in this missile. That was weird, Alpha Gator. I believe clouds do have an impact on some missiles, but I can't remember if that's true or if that's something I made up. So there are 3 planes making their way back home. We have Lunar Eclipse, Nacho, and Month Day making it back home. You would imagine that a sufficiently thick cloud would throw off radar and heat seekers. You would think so. I don't know about radar, but heat seekers definitely. And Boris, thank you very much for the subscription. Duties and Cubna. Cubna. Thank you for the follows as well. Clouds aren't actually temperature neutral. More from refraction than temperature? I'm afraid I don't know anything about it. How far has Month Day got to go? Looks like it's 53 nautical. And considering they're afterburning, I'd say that they have plenty of fuel left to go. So we'll ride along with the victorious Month Day on the way back. Excellent. And would you believe that I have a little bit of a TAC view file here? Let's see if I can get this to open. Alright, so the fight did get off to an interesting start. We didn't see what happened to Checo. Checo here, looks like they got caught a little bit out of position here by Diok, who fires at 23 nautical miles, that SD-10 crossing 30,000 feet at a rate of knots and demonstrating its effectiveness. So that was the end of Checo. What happened to our beloved Red Fox? Uh-oh. Looks like a R27ET fired from Shadow Rex actually managed to make his mark. I falsely assumed that this R27 was fired at month day, as I suspected that Shadow Rex fired this at month day and it fell for these countermeasures here. But actually, I didn't realize that it was fired at Red Fox. So Shadow Rex putting on a mighty performance down low. It may be the case that in the next round, the members of 367 feel the need to bring the fight down to where they seem to do their best at low altitude here. Because MTsO, definitely the MVP for HDA here, scoring several kills and seemingly surviving uncontested at high altitude. For example, managing to take a 14 nautical mile shot pretty much straight down towards Tatiagot, and there's not much escaping you can do from that. Just let me reply to a message. Can the R27ET get any mid-course guidance from the IRST, or is it completely fire and forget? I believe it's completely fire and forget. I don't think it receives any data from the IRST, except being able to cage the seeker head towards what the HMD is looking at. Oh, and it looks like I was looking at the wrong player without realizing that Nacho actually already made it down to the ground. I thought that Month Day was the speed demon for the members of HDA. And we will get ourselves ready for round number 2. Because of the interest of time, we are expediting the process of going from round to round. So while we get ready for round number 2, let's take care of what needs to be taken care of. while we hear from our friends at Master Arm. So, in one moment, we will hear a couple of words from Master Arm.
Running a dedicated DCS server can be complex, time-consuming, and expensive. And after all that effort, you still might not get the smooth, seamless experience you're looking for. That's why virtual pilots and virtual squadrons choose Master Arm as a ready for immediate use solution and for peak efficiency. With low latency, high stability, and uncompromising performance, Master Arm ensures that every maneuver, every decision, and every shot counts. Stay mission ready. Fly with confidence. Master Arm has your six. Get your server at www.masterarm.de.
Thank you very much, Master Arm. Now's the one chance you'll get to stand up and get yourself a drink and wash your face and, in my instance, close the curtains. So, refill yourselves and reset yourselves for the match to come. We will have round 2 ready for you in no time at all. Welcome back, guys. Alright, so we are preparing for round 2. All of the pilots you're familiar with are back and ready for the next one. Katia got caught out at low altitude by HDA with an AIM 120 that would be exceptionally difficult to miss at that altitude. Tate here gotten Bonsai, still in the F-16s, Deoc, Shadow Rex, and Roy's, along with D-Man in the J-11s. Actually, Roy's here in an F-18. Let's have a look at this livery. Very pretty, very pretty. Just make... Whoa, watch out. Don't do too many burnouts on the taxiway. Is everything okay, Lakel? You alright? Is everyone okay? Today's been a little bit stressful. I'm coming down from a little bit of adrenaline, just making sure that everything worked as intended. And Nacho is doing Nacho. Because it's a Navy plane, it's certified for off-roading. Crazy to imagine that World War II aircraft were designed in such a way that they actually can potentially take damage if they land on paved runways, and they much prefer landing on grass. Makes sense, but can you imagine trying to maintain a grass runway? Wouldn't be an F-15 without listening to the engines go whack. Of course, the two giant fuel tanks on the F-15, providing it with some much-needed range, and because you're going to be bringing the wing pylons anyway, so that you can carry at least some AIM-9Ms, then, there's no drag cost once it's time to throw them out. Red Fox in the JF-17 caught out by a R-27ET, which is particularly surprising considering the JF-17 has a missile warning system, though I believe MWS systems run off the infrared signature of a smoke plume. Can someone correct that for me if I'm wrong? But I believe that missile warning systems go off the infrared signature of smoke trails, but who knows? Guess they don't have the shocks for the harder surface. Yeah, there's, the tyres are inflated for softer ground, and the suspension's meant to hit softer ground. Interesting Jeff skin there. I think it's gorgeous. I love it. It looks like a, it looks like an ice lolly or something like that, you know? Like an ice cream that you'd get at the beach. Red Fox from HDA. Looking very good. D-Man, the last one to go. Come on, D-Man. Of critical importance for the members of the MTsO is the need to think of their tactics and change up their plans after the first round. MTsO is not the sort of person that you want to leave unattended at high altitude. I can say that from personal experience. Looks like a soda can from the 80s. And let's be honest, didn't soda taste better before all of these regulations about how much sugar and cocaine you were and were not allowed to put into drinks? You remember back when you could buy a full Loco and there was a chance it might just kill you? Back when drinks had some real business about them. Okay, HDA, and both teams report ready simultaneously. Alright. Both teams ready. Get set. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go, go, go. Alright. Nacho takes off. Red Fox follows behind. The bright orange. Caution traffic. 11 o'clock. Low. Just the J11s to go now for HDA. As Tadyagot leads the F-16s off the ground for 367th. Electing to bring along a jamming pod on the center line as opposed to extra fuel. I guess one of the advantages of Tbilisi is that you do get the double runway, though, truth be told, let's be honest, how much of an advantage would that really be? You could expedite your takeoff by just a little bit if you really wanted to. Hello, SATAC, how are you? Welcome in, everyone. Thank you for your patience today. There is still plenty more SATACing to happen. In 1 hour, I say again, 1 hour and 5 minutes, we will be preparing for Golden Crown, facing off against PTF. Depending on how long this match goes for, we will potentially just switch cleanly from one match to the next. Alternatively, we will stop the stream for a couple of minutes while we reset everything for the next match, and we'll get stuck right in as Phoenix Task Force faces off against Golden Crown. All right. A relatively familiar formation forming for HDA. Arriving a little code, waiting for code to finish running. Well, SATAC, answer me this. Is your code running? Is your code running? Well, then you better go catch it. As MTsO takes off in the F-15 and starts heading towards the south. As Checo in the J11 heels off towards the north. I don't know what franchise this character is from. Biotype. Is it... We're one of the Honkai games, surely. Roy's and Tatiagot are leading the way for the 367th, with Shadow Rex peeling off towards the north. The distant sonic booms of his comrades ringing out through the caucus sky. And did my playlist seriously just pull Jamiroquai out of nowhere? What the... Why? Sorry. God, I'm just stumbling all over myself today. Let's just go with a classic. As Red takes control of the battle area with Li Tong and Nacho entering into the zone and claiming it first. The distances are equidistant from the center of the circle, so both teams have around 40 nautical miles on the money to fly to enter the circle. So whoever gets there first is usually a case of whoever's climbing the fastest. In all matters F-16, I defer to my good friend Mika VT, who has given me a basic rule that I like to try and follow in the F-16, that a full afterburn climb at Mach 0.82 seems to be the best bang for your buck in terms of altitude gained versus fuel spent, which does seem counterproductive, but I guess less time spent afterburning for the climb is better than or more time spent in mil power. The JF-17 Thunder as well, infamous in some circles for its small fuel tanks, does help to carry these externals, but all in all, it does not carry a huge amount of fuel. Does offset this by having a relatively efficient engine at altitude. So once the JF-17 does get itself up into the sky, it does tend to do quite well. But if you get caught in fights at low altitude for a prolonged time, you will have to keep an eye on your fuel gauge. But it looks like the F-18 and the J-11 are both pairing up for the attack in the north. Roy is having to be careful not to drop his external fuel tanks into his teammate. I just realized I drank that right in front of the microphone, sorry. So if anyone wanted a little bit of free drinking water ASMR, 120 gifted subs and she'll be right. Jeff, you know it is. And Month Day, this is why I love teams like HDA. Month Day sent me their skins, and I'm like, this is more skins than you have pilots. And he's like, yeah, I want to have options. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. This is why my liveries folder is 500 gigabytes, though. There are more custom skins in my skin selector when I spawn an aircraft in DCS than there are ordinary skins. As Month Day fires the first missile of the match at a crafty 47,000 feet up in the sky, it's got 32 nautical miles to cross, but there are already missiles in the sky coming for him. Royce and Shadow Rex are focusing on Nacho in the north, firing a 40 nautical mile SD-10 shot. Month Day's missile is still traveling at 1,800 knots and is quickly approaching the contrails of the approaching 367th members. Only 500. Chocolate for you, I'll do it for 200. Shadow Rex now definitely knows he's got an AIM 120 coming in, but it's slowed down to 700 knots. The 3 missiles fired towards Month Day. They're all running out of steam and aren't looking like they'll make their way. The SD-10 does tend to keep its altitude, keep its speed at altitude a little bit better, but even then, it's going to have to crawl down to 7,000 feet to catch up with Month Day, who I would say is quite comfy and safe now. MTsO is exactly where they want to be, up at 44,000 feet, but Diok is approaching and is only 30 nautical miles away, even less. At this altitude, that can be deadly. Hopefully MTsO hasn't fallen into a blind spot here. He's turning away from Diok here. It's the exact same thing that happened in the first round. MTsO fires down at Tadiagot. This is exactly what happened in the first round and was the first kill. Actually, it looks like MTsO might have fired towards Bonsai, in which case, has a lot of faith in the range of this missile. 44,000 feet, traveling at 2,200 knots. Bonsai actually has quite a lot of heat coming towards him at the moment. The SD-10 also pinching towards him. Can he defend both the AIM 120 and the SD-10 at the same time? That SD-10 really seems like it's got pace. 1,400 knots, 1,300 knots, 1,200 knots. Bam! Down goes the first member of the 367th, splashed by an SD-10. An R-27 comes off the wings towards the southern group, and if I know my missiles, this will be an ER, meaning that this is radar guided, and look at how fast these things go, man. This is traveling at 1,500 knots straight towards Diok. Hopefully Diok hasn't thought that... Diok, are you going to fly right into... No! Oh my goodness! A massively long-range Fox 1 kill. Diok flies straight into it. His radar warning receiver must have been screaming at him the whole time. How did Lunar Eclipse actually manage to keep that lock? Oh my gosh, there you go. Don't forget about the R-27s. They're so good. Shadow Rex being chased down by an SD-10 now, but is at sufficiently low enough altitude that they'll be able to get away from it. Tatiagot is down at low altitude with D-Man in the southeast, covered off by quite a bit of distance. Shadow Rex now free of missiles, pushing towards the central cluster of the members of HDA. Thank you for the follow, Michi, as well. Hope you're having a good day. And welcome in, Chocolate. It's very good to see you. Home on Jam, perhaps? Now, that's a very good point, actually. Shadow Rex fires an R-27 at relatively close range. R-27's proving to be the kings of this match, and this is an ET, meaning that there will be no radar warning, receiver warning. This heat-seeking missile is traveling 1,200 knots, and it's coming straight for the J-11, and it just doesn't have the energy to pull the last maneuver. You saw the fins, they tried, and it just didn't have the pace to get there. Shadow Rex says, that's not going to happen. I'm going to fire another one. This one's definitely got the pace to get there. but it goes for the flares. Oh, outrageous. Ripped off on both those missiles. Shadow Rex should have 2 kills by now, and he's gotten none. Oh, get your receipt and take those back to the shop, Shadow Rex. You got some cheap R27s. As this AIM-120 flies over the top of Shadow Rex, but MTsO's short-range missile successfully takes him down. Tatia got now 10 nautical miles away from lunar eclipse. D-Man coming in now at 26,000 feet, with Roy's engaged in his own battle in the south. R27s and SD10s going towards Tatia. And the R27 is an ET. Tatia does launch flares, and the ET goes straight for them. And if you live in this house, you might want to duck. The SD10 keeps on following Tatia. The SD10 runs out of pace. Roy's is still committing to the fight in the north, making use of the Sparrows now. Still has an AIM-120 left, so he's not entirely out of Fox 3 options. Shoots off the AIM-7. Looks like this one was just to deter anyone from coming up to him from Month Day and Red Fox. R27's being launched all over the place at Tatia and D-Man. This missile going straight down and successfully hitting Tatia, who goes down instantly from that explosion. The SD-10s fired towards D-Man. D-Man may have been caught a little bit high up in altitude. So this missile is finding its mark in the clouds, and D-Man spirals towards the ground. Down goes the second to last member. Roy's carries with them the hopes and dreams of 367th. Month Day, firing off some AIM-120s. The net closing around our unfortunate Hornet friend. That AMRAM running out of steam and doing the AMRAM shaker. Roy's now contending with this SD-10. This one might be the one. Missing by centimeters. Oh my goodness, Roy's. He's got the shield around him at the moment. Another AIM-120. How many missiles is Roy's going to dodge? That's another one dodged. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all in the air at the same time, and they're not hitting him. What about this one? Fired at 31,000 feet. Roy's just going to have to try somehow to get away from this. Roy manages to dodge that one as well. And what about... Oh, if Roy's gets away from this one. That one goes... Roy's has evaded like 10 missiles now. This AIM-120, traveling at speed, chasing right behind Roy's, but it won't hit him because Roy's is invincible. Roy's can't be hit by missiles. And... Roy's unfortunately gets hit by that one. And Red takes control of the battle area. I've never seen someone dodge as many missiles as Roy's just did. Like, how many missiles? I need to go, I've never seen someone dodge as many missiles. I'm gonna get the TAC view so we can count. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All members of HDA still up in the sky. Hello, who's this? I bought myself a pair of shorts that are shaped like that, but I'm not allowed to wear them. Apparently they don't fit me in the same way. Let's have a look at the TAC view. So, let's see what happened to each member of the 367th. Tatia got here. Coming a cropper of MTsO again. Did Tatia got, like, say something about MTsO before this match or something? Because it feels like MTsO was exclusively flying with the express and purpose to make Tatia Gott's plane explode. Meanwhile, so MTsO shoots down Tatia Gott again. Shadow Rex demonstrating a really good ability to defend against missiles and excellent situational awareness. Shadow Rex, I think, for the 367th, a standout performance in terms of effectiveness. Really putting the beans to it. But oh my god, did Shadow Rex get ripped off with these missiles. I cannot believe that this didn't hit. It just refused to do the little tiny kick it needed to. Oh no, it's not this one. It's, let's see, where were the really frustrating R-27 ET shots? Okay, it must have been a different pilot that fired those. Only turbo fans. Only turbo fans. You telling me that there's an only turbo fans? Where is it? I'm not sure. It's 4 Fox 3s per plane? Yes, it is. Either way, Shadow Rex being very effective here. Eventually, running out of luck, and after defeating a large amount of SD-10s and AIM-120s, looks like it's the AIM-120C from Nacho that seals the deal for Shadow Rex. And this R-73, one of the weaknesses of the missiles, the infrared missiles being carried by the SU-27 and J-11, is that they are very, very susceptible to infrared countermeasures. Right. So, the members of HDA are making their way back home. And I think I made a mistake there. I was showing you guys the wrong TAC view. My apologies for that. I was showing you the one from the first round. So what actually happened here? Let's have a look at Roy's run here and count how many missiles he successfully evaded. So, the beginning of Roy's run. 1 AIM 120. 2 AIM 120s. We're up to 2 now. 2 AIM 120s and an NST-10. So that's 3. 3 AIM 120s and an SD-10. That's 4. 4 AIM 120s and an SD-10. So 5. 5 AIM 120s and an SD-10. So that's 6. 7 AIM 120s and an SD-10. So that's 7. And an AIM 9. So to kill one F-18, you need 7 AIM 120s, 1 SD-10, and preferably an AIM 9 to finish the deal. Oh no! What happened? That's not good. However, Nacho has already landed here. Safe and sound on the ground for the members of Honkai Destruction Armor. As Red Fox's JF-17 enters landing pattern. Okay. Month Day says, I want to sleep. Lunar Clip says, MDZZ. Check says, such idiot. Whoops. It is very late in China, so these guys may not want to feel like talking to me and may want to go to bed. But it is their victory. As HDA successfully secures round number 2. So, is there anyone left? Yes, there is. MTsO. Landing gently down. It must be very warm where all of these ladies live, if they can get away with dressing like that. We'll just see if anyone feels like coming and having a quick chat with me. They may or may not. No dramas one way or another.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome in. We have D-Man, Deoc, and Shadow Rex from the 367th. How are you going? How are you feeling after that one?
Well, it's been kind of harsh, I must say. We've been taking a little bit of losses since we started. It's our first time on the tournament, though we're really excited of having the experience to fight against other teams and get to know each other and just share the experience of SATAC. It's a really cool tournament. The thing is, we have very few time to practice. Our guys, the people from our team, well, they're really busy people. For example, I go to school every day from Monday to Friday, and I need to study and do some stuff. I'm on my final year. Shadow Rex goes through the university, and Demon works on the docks. So he has time to practice. We don't have that much time to practice, so we practice as much as we can when we have time. But we still try to do our best every time we fly together.
Well, I must say that you guys did actually do very well. And firstly, compliments to your liveries. They look spectacular. And
Thank you.
very well done. I was going to say that your Shadow Rex, your demonstration of being able to... Sorry, someone's shooting up the runway. Your demonstration of being able to know exactly how to defend against some of these missiles was spectacular. And is Roy's a mercenary, or...
No, he's our guy.
He's your guy? Yeah.
Yes.
Managing to evade 8 missiles in the second match is, I think, worthy of a little bit of congratulations. I couldn't believe how many missiles they shot at him. But what one thing you think did work well, and one thing you think didn't work that well for this match specifically?
I think the coordination goes a bit bad for us right now because we need more time for training all the team at the same time. Maybe we are better doing individually. That's true. Maybe we are a bit more ready for that. But the negative part of us is that we need to coordinate more the team.
Absolutely. And I think one of the positives to take away from it is that your missile defense is spectacular, all of you guys. And definitely fantastic flying by all around. We also have some members from HDA here as well. We have Month, Litong here. We have Mokasu, Bug, Kaiser, and Cheku. Congratulations, guys. How are you feeling after that match? Other than tired.
How about you?
Okay, so I'm the interpreter of the HDA.
Thank you very much, Kaiser.
I'll translate some.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you could just ask them how they are and how they're feeling after the match.
OK。你们在这场比赛中感觉如何？
我们感觉那个367给我们他们的战术执行给我们造成很大的一个麻烦，我们不知道开局怎样去应对他们，所以只能采取尝试高飘的一个，但他们在战场非常后面，我们不确定这种打法能否成功，所以他们的开局战术我觉得非常的独特。
我想说的是，返还的时候很庆幸我的编队基本功很差，所以本来已经很困了，但是他们爆炸的时候瞬间清醒了，而且，这两场比赛很不容易，两边包括主办方都很不容易。好了。
Yeah, so we were very surprised on the tactical they are using, and we think it's very hard to deal with. So we try to do some loft, and we're still not sure whether it will work. And about the RTB time, we had a very bad formation, and when the explosion comes,
Yeah.
it's just awaken everyone.
Well, yeah, and thank you very much, guys, for your patience as we sorted out a few technical troubles. And I know it's late for you all, so thank you so much for flying for all of us. I know that we appreciate it very much. What do you think one thing that went very well for you guys in that match, and one thing that didn't go very well, if you wouldn't mind asking Kaiser?
Okay. 你们觉得在这场比赛中有什么让你们感觉做得很好的战术？有没有什么你们觉得做得不好的地方？
来，
车口来吧。
二把的时候，我们 第一把的时候我们被打了一个猝不及防，第二把的时候我们觉得我们迅速的适应了战场，然后做出了合理的应对，这是我们队内所有人的努力的结果，我们对此的结果非常满意。不满意的地方，等会儿这个我自己说吧，凯斯你译一下前半段就行。
Okay, I'll just say one part. So in the second round, so we was bit fight hard in the first round because we cannot adapt the situation, and in the second round, we find ourselves adapt the combat environment, and we felt satisfied about it. And then it's Chakur's part.
About the worst part in this match, I think. Ito, what the hell are you doing in the formation? We all thought he wants to be the better KD data, and he doesn't just directly shoot the missile, use some, well, kamikaze tactical.
That means he owes
get
you
the
McDonald's.
data.
All right. Well, 367. I see we've got Roy's here as well. The missile man themselves, getting away from 7 missiles in the second round. Must have been stressful, but I wouldn't be discouraged. I think the 367th is showing enormous promise, and I know that there are a lot of people in chat who are very enthusiastic about you guys, and we're very excited to see you fly, and I know I am to see the matches that you've got to come. I was really excited that I got this one. If there's any shout-outs that you'd like to make or anything you'd like to say to the audience, please go ahead. The stage is yours.
Royce, ты понял? 1 second, I'm the interpreter too. Royce.
Absolutely, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry,
Да. Что?
по английскому скажешь что-нибудь или... Ну, они тебя спросили, хочешь что-нибудь сказать?
I want say just one thing. My defending skills I get from one beautiful man. It's Grey Goo.
I see.
He's my main trainer. He's from 9G.
Ah.
That's why I can't defend this missile.
Fantastic. Oh, wow. You'd have to buy him a beer or something, I think, because those lessons paid off.
Maybe.
And is there anything you guys, as the 367th, would like to say to the audience? Or just good luck?
Yes. For everybody, never let you down and keep going always. Para los españoles, de nuevo, seguir adelante, no os rindáis, nosotros no nos vamos a rendir. И для русских то же самое. Никогда не сдавайтесь, идите вперед. Ситуация сложная, но можно всегда победить. That's all.
Fantastic. Okay, and the same goes for HDA. Congratulations on your victory. I'm sure you guys would love to get off to bed shortly, so if there's anything you'd like to say or any shout-outs you'd like to make, please go ahead. It's all yours.
如果你们获得了胜利，你们有什么想对观众说的吗？
Yeah, so I didn't want to take the interview before because I didn't play this match. But as I watched Li Tong just did that maneuver and got 3 kills, I just woke up and want to punch him here.
Spectacular. Fantastic. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
So if Li Tong uses maneuver again and I have missiles in other matches, I will shoot him, use my missiles to prevent any additional damages to our team.
Accidentally shoot him at the first before he crash us again.
Oh no, there's a civil war within HDA. Oh, everyone's going to have to pick a side. I think the best piece of advice I can give to anyone facing off against HDA would be just don't let MTsO stay up there. Someone shoot him down, please. Alright guys, thank you so much for the match and thank you for your patience. I'm going to have to get ready for the next one now, so I will bid you a good night, and thank you very much for flying with us today. It's been an excellent show to watch. Cheers.
Good job, HDA. Thank you for the match, guys.
GG boys, nice match.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. to the
very much.
3, 6, 7.
Thanks.
That's it. And thank you, everyone. Have a
Have
great
a
evening.
good day.
Oh, хорошо.
Day, guys.
All right. So, I'm doing a little bit of a toss-up in my head because I have the PTF versus GC match in 30 minutes. So, I think we will cut the stream here and we will take 15 minutes just to make sure that everything is set up and ready to go for the next match in the event. So, we will be back in 30 minutes, 30 minutes, we will be back, and we will be casting PTF versus Golden Crown. I look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll be right back. Don't forget that if you want to be pinged to make sure that you're aware of when the match happens, you can either keep this window open, I'm sure it will just refresh and go live when I click the go live button again. You can also join my Discord if you want to get a ping from me. And you can also join in on the SATAC Discord as well, so that you don't get left out of the loop. Thank you guys, and we will be back with